Good morning. Thank you for joining the Budget and Appropriations Committee. I am Danielle McCray. I am the chairperson for this committee as well as the councilwoman for the 2nd District. As a reminder for all, please turn off or mute any cellular devices that you have today. We're joined by Council President Zeke Cohen.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And also committee members, Councilman Gray from the 8th District, as well as our Vice President, Councilwoman Middleton from the 6th District.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And also within chambers, we have representatives from the Mayor's office, as well as the City Council President's office, and staffing the committee is our staff person, Marguerite Kieran. So we're convening today to consider 6 bills that together would advance more than $14 million in supplemental appropriations from the City of Baltimore's Opioid Restitution Fund at the request of Mayor Scott's administration. I do want to briefly remind people how we arrived at this point. In 2018, the City of Baltimore filed lawsuits against several pharmaceutical manufacturers and distributors whose negligence created the opioid epidemic that we have experienced. Baltimore chose to opt out of a global settlement in which many other jurisdictions participated, and we continue to pursue our own litigation. Through the leadership of Mayor Scott and the tireless efforts of our city administrator, Ebony Thompson, and her entire team, the City of Baltimore has now reached separate settlements with or received jury awards against several pharmaceutical companies that as of November 2024 totaled more than $668 million. This has been a long and a hard path, and I thank everyone involved in ensuring that our city obtained this funding. The funding will provide some initial grants to organizations named in the settlements the city has reached. It will also strengthen the ability of the mayor's office and our health department to oversee these grants and effectively manage our overdose abatement efforts. Of course, I applaud the mayor's decision to ensure that the settlement funds remain completely separate from the city's general fund in a dedicated trust. And that trust created by Mayor Scott is intended to fund opioid abatement efforts for at least 15 years and help track and provide transparency. And in due course, the city will be creating a grant application process that will enable nonprofits across the community to apply for funding to expand the services that they provide. Last, work is currently underway now to finalize a community engagement plan and transparency and accountability plan to ensure that all aspects of the city's work to combat substance use disorder are informed by the community and it's responsive to the city's most urgent needs. I thank everyone who is here today and everyone who has worked on these efforts. Also joining us is Councilman Mark Conway from the 4th District. There are 6 bills on the agenda today. All of the funding sources for these appropriations will come from the Opioid Restitution Fund and will be allocated to close out the agency's fiscal year 2025 budget, which ended on June 30th, 2025, which will end on June 30th, 2025. The Board of Estimates also approved all funding on December the 18th of 2024. The first 2 bills are for the Mayor's Office of Recovery Program. That's going to be 25-007, Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriation, Mayor's Office of Recovery Program for $270,000. The second bill is 25-008. There will be hearing Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriations, Mayor's Office of Recovery Programming. And at this time, we're going to hear from our agencies regarding these 2 bills. For the Law Department, you have provided a favorable report for both bills for form and legal sufficiency. Is there anything that you would like to add, or are you standing by the report?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Desiree Lucky on behalf of the City Solicitor. We stand by our favorable report for the bill.
For our Finance Department, there's a favorable report for both bills. Is there anything else to add, or are you standing by your report?
Good morning, Madam Chair and committee members. Laura Larson, City Budget Director. We stand by our favorable bill response.
And last, for the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programming, do you have anything else to add, or do you stand by your report?
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, members of the council. I'm Shamaya Kearney, Chief Recovery Officer. We stand by our report.
At this time, I want to ask our council members, do you have any questions regarding our committee members? Do you have any questions regarding these bills? These two. Council President? We are going to go to the next bill, and just some housekeeping, we are going to be doing public testimony for anyone who has signed up after we get through the 6 bills. The third bill is going to be 25-0009, Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriation. You're already $1,773,000. For the Law Department, do you stand by your report?
Yes, we do.
For the Finance Department, do you stand by your report?
Yes, we do.
And for the Office of the City Administrator, do you stand by your report?
Tyler Chanel on behalf of the Mayor's Office, yes.
Okay, we're going to move to 25-0010, Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Law for $100,000. For the Law Department, do you stand by your report?
Yes, we do.
And for the Finance Department, do you stand by your report?
Yes, we do.
The last 2 bills on the agenda are for our city's health department. It's going to be 25-0011, Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriation, Baltimore City Health Department for $500,000, and 25-0012, Supplementary Special Revenue Fund Operating Appropriation, Baltimore City Health Department, $2 million. For the Law Department, do you stand by your reports for both bills?
Yes, we do.
And for the Finance Department?
Yes, we do.
Last, for the Health Department's report, do you stand by your report on the bill?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Julia Roche, Legislative Affairs Director from the Baltimore City Health Department. We do stand by our report, and I just want to note that I'm accompanied by Deputy Commissioner Jennifer Martin. And when we reach the questions portion, we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Council members, committee members, do you have any questions regarding the 4 bills that we just went over? Okay. And at this time, we're going to check to see if anyone has signed up for public testimony. I am not showing that anyone has signed up for public testimony. If there is someone who would like to testify at this time. And seeing and hearing none, before we vote on these bills, I want to turn this over to our council president to see if he has any words.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to the members of the administration that are here today. Thank you to the members of the public that have joined us. This is obviously an incredibly important issue for the city of Baltimore. Our city solicitor has done outstanding work in bringing about accountability for those that contributed to this crisis in our city. I am grateful to Mayor Scott's administration for the approach that they've taken, bringing in partners in academia, bringing in partners with lived experience to be part of how we seek to rectify this incredibly long-standing issue. I also want to thank the chair of this committee, Chair McCray, for the thoughtful way in which she's aggregated all the information and conducted this hearing. It is going to be the council's role to provide consistent oversight over these funds and over our approach to addressing this crisis. I am truly grateful that for the first time ever, we have resources to be able to support the incredible efforts that have gone on for a long time in our city, and to truly engage a framework to attack this issue at its root and at its cause. And so this is an important day for Baltimore as we truly, on the council side, begin this process of supporting community-based organizations that are not new to this work, have been doing it for a long time. But again, I am grateful for the spirit of collaboration. We'll shout out Deputy Mayor Merrill, who has shepherded a lot of this work, Sarah Whaley, who has come on with the city to help us engage in this, Shemaiah Kearney, all the folks from the health department, the administration. This is going to be a great partnership, not just between the administration and the council, but between city government and the communities that we serve, and particularly those that have been most impacted by this issue. So again, grateful to the committee members, and especially grateful to the chair who has really been working behind the scenes and again is not new to this topic, held hearings about this issue in the last term, and appreciate her leadership this term as well. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, President Cohen. Also want to welcome our Vice Chair, Councilman Schleifer, who has joined us as well. We're going to move into voting on these 6 bills. I am making a motion to move Council Bill 25-007, Mayor's Office of Recovery Programming in the amount of $270,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray.
Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
I just want to say, as a reminder, I'm still under oath on this subject matter, but because there is no legal impediments on these bills, my vote is a yes.
Gray? And Glover? Absent.
The motion passes. This bill goes to second reader at the next city council meeting. I am making a motion to vote on Council Bill 25-008, Mayor's Office of Recovery Programming in the amount of $10 million. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray.
Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
Yes.
Gray? And Glover? Absent.
The motion passes. This bill goes to second reader at the next city council meeting. I'm making a motion to vote on Council Bill 25-0009, Mayor Audi, in the amount of $1,773,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray.
Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
Yes.
Gray? And Glover? Absent.
The motion passes. This bill goes to second reader at the next city council meeting. I'm making a motion to vote on Council Bill 25-00010, Law Department, in the amount of $100,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray. Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
Yes.
Gray? And Glover? Absent.
The motion passes. This bill goes to second reader at the next city council meeting. I'm making a motion to vote on Council Bill 25-0011, City's Health Department, in the amount of $500,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray.
Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
And Glover? Absent.
Last, I'm making a motion to vote on Council Bill 25-00012, City's Health Department, in the amount of $2 million. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by McCray, second by Gray.
Councilwoman McCray?
Yes.
Schleifer? Middleton?
Yes.
Gray? And Glover? Absent.
I should have said that was an overwhelmingly yes. But yes, the motion passes. This bill goes to second reader at the next city council meeting. At this time, this hearing is adjourned.